just do one thing. Okay. I'm also gonna record video. Let's see if this, if my slides are working. Okay. So, who am I? Why should listen to me at all? So my name is Oded Sharon. I'm super geek. I'm 44 years old. I have lots of hobbies. I make creme brulees, and I made this steam engine work on solar power. I take photographs, and I used to play Guitar Hero when that was still a thing, and now I play other instruments. And I'm a licensed pyrotechnician. I got a degree in computer science and physics. This is a joke for the people who know computer science. I also have an MBA, and I used to run game developer conferences in Israel. And I'm fascinated with crowdfunding. I've had a numerous amount of campaigns successful. I've been making games for about 22 years. I have two companies, Corbomite Games and Adventure Mob. All kind of games, adventure games and casual games and mobile games and social games and rock band songs or like games. I like to do experiments and do experimental games, stuff like this. And the first game I've ever made, which was a big failure, is called Zbang the Game. Zbang is a famous Israeli comic book. Every person in Israel kind of knows this comic book. So I reached out to the person who draws the comic, and we made a short demo, 15 minutes long demo of this game. And then we went around to publishers and tried to get money to fund this game, and never got the money, so we never actually made the game. So then I said, you know what, nobody knows that comic book, let's make something more original. And he has this other comic book called Pizza Morgana, which is a story about demons and monsters and vampires, and they're all pizza delivery guys. So I said, okay, I'm not gonna wait for publishers, I'm just gonna make this game with my own time and money. So we made this game, we started selling, actually self-published the game, sold this game, and we made about $100 from this game, from sales. And we worked on this game for about a year. So that's not really profitable. It was a really nice game. Everything is like hand-drawn and nice animations and tons of humor, but still not a lot of sales. So then iPhone came along, and we said, oh, I gotta make an iPhone game and an iPad game. So we made this game called Starshipping. Oops, I went one too forward. So Starshipping, you fly into space and you like trade stuff. And then we made like $150 from that game, which is also not a lot of money. And then I got hired by this company called Dragonplay. So we made this casual game. And there it was not my company. Somebody hired me to manage this game. So I worked for 4 months running a team in Korea. And then I even flown to Korea, and then they launched the game. It was a huge failure. Nobody played this game, so they canned this project, and I never got to work on it. This is a game called Uniform. It's like an art game that I made. It's like the game that I made that I love the most, but I can't really get anybody to play it. I mean, all of you can go and look up the game later. It's called, it's adventuremob.com/uniform. Ask me for the link, I'll send it to you later, but this is a free game. So even though it's free, nobody played it. And then comes Bolt Riley. Bolt Riley is a story about like this reggae musician. And I said, you know what, I need money to make this game, so let's go and do a Kickstarter. Why? Because publishers are evil. Every time I tried to work with a publisher, they either screwed me up somehow, or didn't give me the money, or I couldn't find publishers. So I did some crowdfunding, and it's not that easy to do crowdfunding. I went to Kickstarter in April 2012 with another game that we were working with a publisher, and this is like the team that we had back then. And this game raised almost over $500,000, $655,000. So with this game, I thought, yes, I'm gonna have a lot of money, and I'm gonna make this like big game. I never actually made the game. The publisher breached contract, and we didn't get to make this game at all. And then I continued with more failures over Kickstarter. I launched this game called Bolt Riley Reggae Adventure Game. And I was actually working, this screenshots from the game, I was actually working with these two people, Lori and Corey Cole. They had their own Kickstarter campaign and they fundraised, like a few months before, they fundraised $400,000, which I thought was a lot. And I said, you know what, I'm gonna ask for $120,000. And if these two who are involved in my game also, they wrote stuff for my game, if they managed to get this much money, I would get like a quarter of that. And we had like really good reviews and everything, all the articles that they were writing about us. But then we only got $50,000 out of the 120. So there was a failure and we never got any of the money because that's how Kickstarter works. If you don't get the money, you don't get nothing. Here are some graphs, showing how people at the beginning were giving us money and then boom, it went down. So I wasn't really sure if it was bad luck or failure. So I reduced, it didn't make sense. So I reduced the amount of money to $30,000 and then I made a smaller campaign and managed to get this money. But then we wanted to release this game on a platform called Ouya, and then Ouya went bankrupt. So we didn't actually get the money we needed, and we were worried, and there were like a lot of articles about this Ouya company getting out of business, and they had $1 million that they promised to people and they never gave anything. But eventually a company called Razer bought Ouya, and then they gave us some of the money. So we managed to finish the game, and then we launched this game on a few platforms like Steam and Razer Forge, and we only made $1,500 from the sales of the game, which is also not a lot of money, and you can't really afford paying salaries to people who worked on this game for like years. Then I went to Indiegogo and I did another game called Herbert's Quest, and then we fundraised $500. And I worked on this game and I never launched the game. And then I went to Patreon and I opened up a Patreon page, and I've had people supporting me and giving me some money, but that amount of money is like, it used to be $100 and now it's, I think there's like one person supporting me there for less than $5. So that's not, a huge success either. And this is like the last slide of my talk, a bit of inspiration. I don't know if any of you know this game. This is not a game I made. This is a game called Bounce Evolution. Anybody in the audience ever heard of this game, Bounce Evolution? You've heard of that game? Yeah, you want to tell me who made this game? You don't know? Okay, I'll tell everybody. So this game, Bounce Evolution, is the number 49th game that a small company that was on the verge of bankruptcy, they made this game, and the next game they made is called Angry Birds. And if you look it up on Wikipedia, they were like about to go bankrupt, and then they make this game. So I still have a lot of games to make and fail with those games before I can be like a successful company like them. Okay, if there's any questions, you're welcome to raise your hands and ask questions, and here are my contact details if you want to reach out for me afterwards. Yay!